Declaration of intention. Until now, we have focused only on how to free yourself from pendulums and escape their influence. But is it possible to benefit in some way from a pendulum? And yes, essentially, any dream is brought about with the help of pendulums. There is no getting away from the fact that we all live and work in some structure or another. It is simply a question of whether the structure deprives you of your dream or helps you realize them. Are there methods by which you can impact a pendulum directly? This is unlikely. You cannot tame a pendulum, let alone control it. However, it is possible to use the qualities of a pendulum for your own interests. Have you ever wondered why people make toast when they're having a meal with friends? Does this tradition have a practical purpose, or is it purely symbolic ritual? It turns out that toasts are not just spoken for the sake of it. At times, folk wisdom produces customs that appear to be no more than meaningless superstition. People follow these established rules without suspecting they actually represent some kind of method for shaping reality. The thing is that alcoholic drinks, as we described previously, is a kind of energy credit. Free energy receives an additional source of support and is raised one rung higher. Given that this is really the energy of one's will, the result it brings will depend on where you direct it. For example, if you drink to escape sorrow, life will feel even heavier. Drink in joy, and you'll find more reasons to celebrate. Mix drinking with fear or anxiety, and life will bring more fear. This pattern applies every time. When a person focuses their thoughts with intention, they align themselves with a lifeline that matches the energy of their thoughts. A toast strengthens this intention by directing thought energy toward a desired outcome. While a pendulum cannot control outer intention or materialize reality, it amplifies the energy of intention. When making a toast, you channel this focus, subtly influencing your reality. The qualities of the energy belonging to the pendulum creditor are, as a rule, quite negative. However, when a person attributes goodwill to this energy, they change its polarity. Hence, a toast is not just an empty ritual, it is a declaration of intention. Toasts often focus on future wishes, which limits their impact. The energy they generate becomes positive but does not influence reality, leaving the wish as a distant hope. This happens because the mirror of reality reflects only the present, not the future. All toasts should be uttered in the present tense. They might sound a little weird as a result, but this will be effective. For example, instead of saying, "we will be," say, "we are," or "we have good health." "We won. Those who are not with us are always with us. Lucky are those at sea. Our wishes come true. Good fortune is always with us," etc. This type of declaration of intention will immediately start pulling your wishes into the reality of today rather than putting them off until a tomorrow that never comes. Now, don't think alcohol can easily turn your desires into reality. It's a double-edged sword. The bigger the boost, the higher the cost. As the debt grows, your awareness and intention drift to alternatives that don't match reality. Drugs are even riskier. Manipulating pendulum energy this way is neither reliable nor achievable for everyone. Black magic works in accordance with the same principle. An evil magician calls on dark powers in order to exploit their energy and strengthen their hostile intention. It is never lucrative in any respect to get credit from a pendulum. However, if you do end up doing so, it is essential that you stick to the following rule. When you're dangling on the pendulum's hook, think only of the positive. You can even take the example of the transurfing pendulum. It will not harm you, and the declaration of intention may significantly increase its efficacy. Every time you come across any information related to transurfing, remind yourself that it can assist you in the realization of your goals. Attuning your intention in this way will position the vector of the alternatives flow in the right direction. Take the same approach with any pendulum, even if it doesn't directly affect your life. For example, while watching a TV show, you're still exchanging energy with a pendulum. Use this opportunity to hold your target slide, the vision of what you want, in mind. You can always find a small connection to your goal in what you observe. For instance, if the characters are driving a luxurious car, affirm your intention to own something similar one day. Never let negative thoughts like worry, fear, or despair take over when you're receiving an energy boost, as they will only amplify those feelings. Here's how to approach these moments constructively. During your smoke break, imagine your success as if it's already real. If an ad inspires you to enjoy a cup of coffee, use that moment to appreciate your current good fortune, regardless of what the future holds. This aligns with the principle of coordination. For example, while drinking coffee or having a smoke, don't let your thoughts drift aimlessly. Instead, declare your intention. Everything is going wonderfully because I shape my reality with my intention. This idea ties back to practices like tea ceremonies. Saying prayer before the onset of a meal and dedicating the food to God has become custom among many different people. However, once you have acknowledged God, do not forget about yourself. Treat yourself with the same care and kindness you would show a loved one. For example, say to yourself, "Enjoy this, my dear, and feel better." You may find surprising and even miraculous effects like improved well-being or the easing of certain ailments. Your body will first be surprised, then grateful, flourishing like a well-tended flower. The key is sincerity. Serve yourself with love and affirm, "If I don't take care of myself, who will?" This simple act holds immense power. If you've been indifferent or harsh toward yourself, rituals like this can bring incredible transformation. Don't just believe me, try it and see for yourself. It may seem like the declaration of intention could be used in games of chance like the stock market, casinos, or betting. And it can. Your chances will improve if while placing your bet and during the game, you visualize an inevitable win. This isn't easy, but it is possible. Most players think things like, "I hope I win," or "What if I lose? No, I have to win." These thoughts are filled with desire, fear, and hope, which dilute your intention. To succeed, clear your mind of all emotions, conditions, and doubts. Replace them with a calm, unwavering certainty. I am a winner. This declaration must be simple, firm, and without conditions or exclamations. If you can maintain this state of dispassionate certainty, your chances of success will increase significantly. Winning a single game session might happen once, twice, or even 3 times, but it won't last forever because it's impossible to keep importance completely in check. Gambling is essentially an energy credit that can quietly lead to an induced transition with a tragic outcome. These ideas were discussed in detail earlier in the transurfing training, so we won't revisit them here. The only way to avoid paying interest on energy credit is to know when to step away. Completely detach yourself from the pendulum, cut all connections, and eliminate any thoughts resonating with it. Shift your focus entirely to something else, ensuring the game doesn't cross your mind. This is the only way to avoid being pulled into the vortex of an induced transition. Stop swaying with the pendulum. Once the connection is fully severed, you can start fresh if you choose to play again. It should be said again, playing with a pendulum is risky and unpredictable because no one possesses an unshakable superhuman will to have. Essentially, it is not a game. It is a dance with a shadow. A pendulum is an invisible, cold, merciless shadow. It is not endowed with conscious awareness, nor does it have the power of intention. It does not have a heart or a mind, the opposition of which generates feelings, impulses, and weaknesses. You can never get the better of a pendulum, just as you can never outrun your own shadow. The pendulum observes your movements, knowing you have no escape. The shadow can never be defeated, and playing with it is meaningless. So what can you do? Either abandon the dangerous game, or create your own venture and become a pendulum's favorite. Now, that would be meaningful. Trying to beat a pendulum is like chasing your own shadow. Efforts driven by inner intention focus narrowly on immediate goals, ignoring the bigger picture. To break free, stop chasing, step back, and move independently in your own direction. When you let go of inner intention, the pendulum follows your lead, making you the master of the game, not its puppet. In order to initiate your own game, you have to be yourself. Your personal game is the shaping of your own reality at your own discretion. You can do it. You just have to claim the privilege. Only you can give away or deprive yourself of your own privileges. This has to be understood. Stars are born, but they are lit up by pendulums. Becoming a star in your field isn't just about talent or creating something extraordinary. It's about the influence of pendulums. Even the most brilliant work goes unnoticed unless a powerful pendulum supports it. Cultural, scientific, or artistic successes often thrive only when tied to an active or emerging pendulum. Have you ever wondered why some past masterpieces lose their popularity despite their timeless brilliance? It's because the pendulums that once supported them have faded or disappeared. To succeed, you must understand how to work with pendulums and leverage their influence. When it comes down to it, popularity and fashion are always created by pendulums. Why else would people simultaneously desire the same item en masse? The massive success of groups like the Beatles and ABBA wasn't because they invented something entirely new or groundbreaking. Disco and rock, the genres that they are known for, were already pioneered by other, less famous musicians. Their global fame can be explained by the fact that they aligned perfectly with a powerful pendulum of their time, trends in music and culture that propelled them to worldwide recognition. The Beatles' journey to success started with failures and setbacks. Initially, they were just another band playing in local pubs with moderate talent and no significant recognition. By 1962, they had developed their unique style and created songs that would later revolutionize music, but at the time, they were virtually unnoticed. Despite loyal fans, they faced repeated rejection from record studios, with their future looking quite bleak. Hunter Davies in the Beatles' authorized biography recounts their belief in their eventual success. George Harrison shared that when things seemed hopeless, they performed a ritual. John Lennon would ask, "Where are we headed, boys?" And they'd shout back, "Upwards, Johnny, to the very top." Yet, it wasn't just their determination that changed their fate. In 1963, they finally released their very first single, which unexpectedly hit #1 on the charts. Despite this milestone, it was dismissed as a fleeting success. However, 6 months later, Beatlemania erupted, first in England and then worldwide. As Hunter Davies put it, the mass hysteria that followed was once unimaginable and now feels almost mythical, yet it was undeniably real. A similar story unfolded with ABBA. In 1972, the talented quartet failed to qualify for the Eurovision Song Contest semifinals. However, in 1974, they finally made it through and shocked everyone by winning the competition with a resounding victory. At the time, no one expected much from the group. Eurovision winners were often seen as one-hit wonders, unlikely to achieve lasting success. After their victory, things went quiet for ABBA, much like the Beatles' early days. But within a year, the world was swept up in ABBA mania, proving once again that sometimes massive success arrives after an unexpected quiet start. Two patterns emerge from both stories. First, popularity follows a wave-like cycle. It begins with a long period of anonymity, during which a small but loyal fan base forms. Then comes a brief rise, followed by a quieter phase, as if the wave retreats to gather strength. Finally, a powerful surge of widespread success erupts. Over time, the wave fades as new pendulums rise, pushing the old ones into the background. Every era has its unique vibe, sound, or style, its own charisma. A new era doesn't just appear, it's brought into existence by the collective intention of people, like a cloud forming in the alternatives space. The pendulum then anchors and amplifies the shared intention. This is why long-lasting pop stars need to reinvent themselves and transform to adapt to new eras. Hence the example of Taylor Swift, as her Eras tour was coming into completion as of writing of this presentation. It starts with a small group of fans, each thinking, "I like this." Their collective energy forms a pendulum that synchronizes their thoughts into, "We like this." In the alternatives space, there are sectors where "everyone likes this" is the common quality. The group's united intention moves reality towards these sectors. Over time, as more people join in, the pendulum gains power. Once critical mass is reached, the shared intention fully manifests in reality, giving the era its unique charisma shaped by the collective energy of its adherents. Now that you understand how trends are born, embrace your right to be unapologetically yourself without worrying about the rest of the world. This is the only way to share your unique individuality with the world. Pendulums resist uniqueness, but will have no choice but to make you a star if you chart your own course. Stop chasing others and walk your own path. When you lead, pendulums will follow. Your soul's unique qualities make you capable of setting trends. A special place in the alternatives is waiting for you. Step into it and declare your intention.